Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. There we go. Sorry, I was just swapping audio back to the game. Hey Tag, welcome. Good to see ya. More story stuff today. I'm finally feeling good enough to do some story stuff. And I'm hoping we can get through the role quest finale. The one they brought in 6.1. Well, not really finale, I guess it's continuation. I don't know if it's the end of this story section. We'll find out. Still an amazing song. Footfalls. I think I say that every time, but it's because it's still true. I'm just still in awe whenever I listen to it. Alright, so a bit of a late start today, so I've already fed Cleo. So we have no cat alarm to worry about. Do we have a queue? Oh my god, a queue! You love to see it. On Aussie servers. Alright, I have a new hosting or host and raid alert.
Shall we dance?
Drawn by Sonia Fior, who I was so happy with how she drew Horshafon and Emmerich. But I wanted her to draw a Nero too, and
shall we dance?
He's doing a little air guitar. Cute. Very cute. I'm finally getting proper alerts. Oh my god. Alright. Just check if I can... Oh, I sold something. What did I sell? Hippogriff Sinew. To Gary Goat. What else can I sell? High Potion. Who wants that? No one. Alright, that's a vendor. Oh my god, I sold something else. Love it. Love to see it. I'll just go get a couple more things to put up for sale. I have a lot of stuff just taking up space from doing crafting log. It's where you craft one of everything just to put a little tick next to it and get achievements. And so I've got tons of inventory to get rid of. Wait, what did I sell? Hippogriff skins. Ah, nice. Do you like the Nero? I like the Nero. Ding ding. Alright, you can sell this ring. I'll put one up and just see if it sells. If not, I'll desynth it. And you can sell this ring. At least try to sell the ring anyway. Alright. We'll go pick up the role quest from over in Redzethan. Yes, yeah, the inventory space is very limited in this game. It's a lot of inventory juggling you gotta do. Now, the most painful part is how your glamour dresser has limited space, so you can't just collect all the appearances. You have to pick out which ones you want to keep. That's a shame. There's the Hildebrand quest. Today, though, I want to finish the role quests off. I think that's it. Let's go Dragoon for today. Hey Mia, welcome. Your kingdom for some backpacks? Yeah! Same. Alright, so we've done all the Endwalker role quests for each role. The tank, healer, melee DPS, physical range, magical ranged. And so in 6.1 they put in a continuation that you unlock once you do all 5 of those. I don't know much about it, but I know it involves... I think all the different faction leaders are involved. And I think it has something to do with Garlemald. So let's find out together. Let's just see what dialogue you have. I heard about you and yours travelling beyond the stars to avert the final days. Good work, that. Mind you, not all our woes have vanished just yet. I speak of the blasphemies, of course. For despair is not something one can easily cast off. Though we've come a long way, the battle is not yet done. Preventing further transformations won't be easy, but we're a damn sight closer to solving the problem than before. Okay, so it sounds like there might still be blasphemies around. Bitter snow. The glint in Shirabat's eyes suggests she was hoping you might pass through. Well, if it isn't Melchan, all-around good egg and champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Word travels fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits defeating the blasphemies that plague the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Sadly, there are other fell beasts that yet want for slaying, but fear not. Our efforts to bring them low proceed apace, and we've had naught but glad tidings from our allies. Perhaps the most surprising report came from Werlet, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Alamegan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Reports from Garlemald, however, suggest another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, and we received a petition for assistance. Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final days began to spread in earnest, we encountered a great many monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. And to make matters worse, they say the Garleans who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. From what I understand, it was you and your comrades who brought an end to the source of the final days, is that right? Even so, it would appear its effects will linger a while longer. Until this malevolent influence on Akasha subsides, I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such sightings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we've faced thus far. Your strength and experience would prove quite valuable, if you're willing to help, of course. Of course I will help. Is the Ilsabard contingent not equipped to handle this threat? I'll help. Hey Sabrutian, welcome. Yeah, we saved the whole universe. I'll help. Truly? Our contacts in Sharlayan will be thrilled to hear it. Though they did not explicitly request your presence, it was clear from the first they were hoping for it. Though if I may be frank, I was not expecting Sharlayan of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald, what with their strict policies of non-intervention. Perhaps we'll find out the reason before this is all over. But that's an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. So there are still blasphemy. People can still become blasphemies because there's still some negative Akasha. Keep your wits about you out there. To have eluded us for so long, this blasphemy is like to be more cunning than most. Okay. We just finished Elpis. Aww. Oh, Elpis was so good. Yeah, I hope my stream helps you decompress. Hello. Melchan? The Melchan? It's an honour to have you with us, miss. I presume you'll come to assist in our hunt for the blasphemy? Maxima and Lucia will be pleased to hear it, if you'd come this way. It is good to see you, Melchan, though I wish we were under more fortuitous circumstances. We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad for your aid. Now then, I believe it best if the man who first discovered this blasphemy explained the situation. Oh, I love the Endwalker music so much. Like a kick to the gut, but one you like anyway. Yep. Oh. Hi. You ran into the blasphemy? Okay. Your sister just got to Elpis. Great hearing her running around and going, Meteon is so sweet, I sure do hope nothing bad happens to her. Aww. Ah, Melchan. Good. We may forego introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. As for the situation at hand, it concerns a joint effort between the Forum and the Loperites to find new purpose for the moon. While there is no longer need for a vessel to evacuate this star, we believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Atheris. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward to transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Charlayan has long had the honour of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but it is far from perfect. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long laboured to preserve would be lost. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What's more, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. Thus did we consult the allied nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Radzat-Han. They agreed to assembling a survey team to take measure of the moon and its potential as a repository. Sure, turn it into a library. Our plans for assessment were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blasphemy in the Tower of Babel. Claims of Garlean citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial supposition. But we've not only ill tidings to share, reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat. Lord Artuaro and a member of Gridania's Keepers of the Entwined Serpents have already begun an investigation into the catalyst of these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn, and the spread of this affliction is much curtailed, we must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alphino and Alizé have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium, while we attend to the people here. Twins! But the matter of the blasphemy is not so easily resolved, I am afraid. We recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Ugidi and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them. Sure. I should like to join you, if I may. As this endeavour was originally undertaken on Charlayan's behalf, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion. Ah. Yeah, that is how I felt. I knew something bad was going to happen, but I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was going to be. Hello? Somehow I should have known you would turn up eventually. Sorry for being here, I guess. Rude. Yeah, same. I didn't expect them to do that. I did not expect to see you here of all places, but I am no less glad for your presence. I presume word of the blasphemy is what brought you here, in which case, I believe it may be best if a member of the reconnaissance team's guard explained the situation. Got characters everywhere. Oh, it's this guy. An acquaintance of yours? Long time no see, Lorenz. Aren't you the captain of the company of heroes? Long time no see, Lorenz. I'd heard tell you were the worldly sort, but bugger me if I know where you heard my name before. Ahem. I'm just a lowly sword for hire, hoping to fatten my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Limsa. The job sounded simple enough, but, well, I'm sure you wouldn't be here if it were, eh? And then his music just disappears. But you didn't come all this way to hear about me, did you? The blasphemy we're after is making its nest in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel. The auxiliary sector, I believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sizable horde of beasts were circling about like knights protecting their queen. Naturally, we thought to strike from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reached its mark. They were protected by some manner of mystical shroud as far as I could figure. Without a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. By the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute force in our way through this one. My understanding was that, once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could it create such a barrier? My friend, let me tell you about Dynamis. That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely why I plan to speak with the Elder Seedseer when she arrives. If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protection, it's her. In the meantime, could we trouble you to help with the not-so-small matter of people changing into beasts? The blasphemy's horde was large enough when first we found it. We can't afford for more to join its ranks. Very well. We shall reconvene with Lord Artuaro and discuss strategy. Ah, before you go, there's something else you should know about the tower. From the moment we set foot inside, I could swear there was someone, or something, watching us. I shrugged it off, thinking it a figment of my imagination, but, in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Well, that sounds lovely. Everyone's here for my birthday party, yeah. Getting the whole crew together. Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower, eh? That's not, concerning at all. Arenvold sends his regards, by the way. He asked me to tell you not to push yourself, but we all know what a waste of breath that'll prove to be. Lord Hien will be arriving ere long, aptly dressed for the cold, I should hope. Yosetsu would no doubt count himself fortunate to be absent if he knew we were here. Gods, what I wouldn't give for a nice hot bowl of soup. I mean, Yugiri's not dressed for the cold either. Get a coat or something. It's probably freezing here. Oh, it's God, what name did we come up with for him? Keith? Keith. Hi, Keith. Under normal circumstances, I would never dream of leaving the Elder Seedseer's side. But considering the nature of these blasphemies and the calamity they bring, she insisted a representative for Gridania precede her arrival. A nice light party here. Tank, 3 DPS to choose from, and a 4 cheese. I'm glad your writing's going really well, Tag. It would appear their investigation into the recent reports of refugees transforming is well underway. Brother! Ah, Melchan. 'Tis good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed. The road before us is not an easy one, and a woman of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, wherein we made a few rather surprising discoveries. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within Camp Broken Glass or Tertium have turned, no doubt thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Alphino, and Alizé. However, we have reason to believe those who did turn all hail from Locus Amonis. You mean Corvos, the Garlean's ancestral home? The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, a number of Garlean refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald. But the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused, and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We are of a mind to go and speak with them directly if you would care to join us. Perhaps together we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such terrible change among their people. I am not Garlean by blood, but having been raised in the Imperial provinces, I would be lying if I said I'm not moved by their plight. Locus Amonis suffered greatly in the wake of the final days. It is only natural that they would have sought shelter at the capital. I can but imagine their horror upon arrival. You love your characters? They just need to stop making you cry while working out their scenes. Aww. It's good you love your characters. Frozen Hope. Ooh, potions. Yummy. Artuaro is eager to begin his inquiry. Time being of the essence, I believe it prudent we split into 2 groups and cover as much ground as we may, as quickly as possible. If you and Master Folchino would inquire after the people at Victor's spoils, the 2 of us shall see what we may learn at Liminal Station 4. When you are finished, pray meet us there. I have no idea where that is, but that's okay. My map will tell me. Have fun. Victor's spoils is to the east of here, yes? Let us be off. We're hanging out with Folchino. Time to tell him lots of embarrassing stories about his kids. Like the time Alphino jumped into water and went, whoa! I kept wanting to make a clip of that from Stormblood. That was hilarious. But I forgot until just now. Ah, this is Liminal Station 4. Okay. Ew. Oh, this place. Yeah, we had a not great experience here. That they should choose to reside here in the cold, I can but presume they will not be amenable to conversation. Even so, we must not be deterred. Come. Alright. Just as long as we don't get the same thing happening. Hello? Talk? What is there to talk about? We've no home, no future, nothing. This doom spells the end for us all. Well, how? How did it come to this? Come to hear our grievances, have you? We've more than you have time to hear them, I'm sure. We've lost not one, but 2 homes. Our loved ones, our livelihood. There's nothing left. I served my time with the military, for what? To lose all my friends, my son. And there was naught to show for it but our claim to Locus Amonis. Or so we thought. Calamity was visited upon us for reasons we know not, and when we thought to flee, it followed on our heels to Garlemald. Ruin and ash at every turn. This is going to be very cheery. What are we to do with nothing left to live for? Hey, Eurochan, welcome. Yeah, the Omega mount's really worth getting. It's great. Shall we meet back here when we have finished? Sure. Can't imagine why you or anyone else would feign interest in our troubles, but if you insist... You'll find a great many of the people here were in the military at one time or another, some retiring with honours and others without. Sadly, I'm one of the latter. Bore one too many scars in battle. Even so, my contributions were enough to warrant leave to move to Locus Amonis. It was a land of warmth and bounty. The Corvosi rebellion, admittedly, proved troublesome for a time, but it didn't take long for the Second Legion to quell their uprising. You could practically drown in the calm and quiet. And then one day, the skies came alive with flame. We were overrun by all manner of foul beasts born of our brothers and sisters. The Second Legion barely had time to assemble their forces before they were overrun and snuffed out. We barely escaped with our lives. But we were greeted only with more rack and ruin on our arrival here, and we have not the strength to take our home back from the Corvosi a second time. There's nothing left for us anywhere. The Corvosi. Who are they? If it's all the same to you, I'd like to be alone right now. Did you learn aught of how they came to be in such dire straits? The final days happened. I see. I heard much of the same. The military forces of Locus Amonis were defeated in the wake of the final days. Desperate to survive, they naturally fled to Garlemald, seeking sanctuary. It was their hope the might of the Empire would allow them to reclaim the home they were forced to abandon. But the capital was already in ruin when they arrived. Needless to say, the lands they have long believed to be the ancestral home of the Garlean people may remain forever lost to them. Those unfamiliar with history would believe they have always resided in the bitter cold climes of northern Ilsabard, but that was only after the Corvosi invaded 800 years prior. With the advent of Magitech, I imagine it was all too easy for Emperor Solus to rally his people and take back what they believed to be rightfully theirs. Yet history would tell us true. that the land they call Locus Amonis has been known by other names, and served as home to myriad peoples. Indeed, one need only look back to the Allagan's reign in the Third Astral Era to give the lie to Garlean claims of sovereignty. Yet even had they such ancestral ties to Locus Amonis, antecedents cannot justify their animosity to foreign people. Animosity poorly veiled by delusions of justice, as has been the case for so many nations throughout history. Would that man had the sense and strength of will to break free from such chains of hatred. Help! Someone help! They've turned! Uh-oh. Another monster? Quickly, Melchan. We haven't a moment to lose. Oop. There we go. Lovely stone pillar. Beautiful. That's cool, tag. Letting the characters have a life of their own. That's cool. Locus Amonis came up frequently during the Endwalker MSQ. Getting to think we'll go there in future. Yeah. That would be interesting. Learn more about the Corvosi. Uh-oh. Gods. What happened? One of my mates seemed unwell, so I thought to come over and look in on him. Next thing I knew, he... No one appears to be injured. Did he not attack? He just walked off in the direction of the tower, in a daze, as if it was calling to him. He could not have gone far. If you would go after him, I will remain here and see that all are accounted for. Well, have we not suffered enough? I will see to matters here. Go and find that beast before it can reach the tower. Well, here it is. God, it looks horrifying. Sad. I was at the place Graha said he was from. Ah, cool, cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of that place. Yeah, it was really starting to feel like that's a place we'll be going soon. The beast is slain then. Thank the heavens. For a blessing, no others have turned, and a measure of calm has been restored, if only for the moment. Witnesses were able to offer a clue as to the source of the transformation. They claimed the afflicted was listening to this radio. Even now, it continues to play the same cryptic message. The radio again. Empire, no more. Never again. Rise. Ashes. Though distorted by radio static, you can hear a voice saying the Empire is no more. Never again shall it rise from the ashes. But how is this possible? There are no facilities left standing that could possibly deliver a broadcast. Anima was capable of sending such a message. The last time this happened, the signal came from the Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel. Be that as it may, Anima is no more, and the Tower of Babel has fallen into disrepair. By your hand, no less. Which begs the question, who, or perhaps what, could be behind this? Melchan, Master Folshino, a moment if you would. Hi. Husband. Shortly after we finished our inquiry at Liminal Station 4, Lord Emmerich and Admiral Merwib arrived and requested an audience. Apologies for our late arrival. Knowing firsthand the devastation of which blasphemies are capable, I discussed the matter with the Admiral, and we were of one mind that the situation warranted our immediate presence. Is it safe to presume a representative of the survey team has already arrived? Indeed I have. Thank you for coming all this way on such short notice. Recent events here at the camp have proved most enlightening. Hey, Holly, welcome. Yeah, I am actually. Quite interesting. It's fun getting all these characters together. And this is the aforementioned radio? Empire, no more. Never again. Rise. Ashes. A harsh reminder of their misfortune. Sufficient to push some wayward few over the edge, it would seem. Yet there still remains the question of who is sending this message, and from where. Glory, everlasting, Garlemald. For glory everlasting? For Garlemald? No, it couldn't be. You recognize this message? Can we please give this guy a name? Please. A mantra often spoken by Lord Nerva. Anyone who lived in the provinces under his authority could scarcely forget those words. He sought to claim the throne after the assassination of Emperor Varus, did he not? After civil war broke out, he all but disappeared, according to the intelligence we managed to gather. How could he have managed to breach the tower undetected? I did wonder what happened to this Nerva. To have done so and remain unnoticed by the creatures infesting the tower seems a nigh impossible task. Unless... Do you think the voice on the radio is the Blasphemy? Do you think the voice on the radio is Nerva? Is Nerva the Blasphemy? I do. And as it was with Anima, these radios are somehow attuned to whatever signal it emits from the tower. What's more, I believe the true identity of the Blasphemy is Nerva, robbed of the throne and forced to watch the empire he longed to command crumble before his very eyes. If such loss did not drive him to the same fate as Quintus, the despair he felt no doubt overcame and turned him. Nervous delusions of grandeur aside, the Garleans' plight sounds not unlike the Sahagin, desperate to preserve their spawning grounds. Indeed, though unscrupulous by any measure, the Garleans found solidarity in their ideology, as did the people of Ishgard in the church. Adrift without home or purpose, it is all too easy for despair to take hold. Would that a remedy were as simple as offering them land as we did the Sahagin. In all likelihood, the Garleans would refuse to settle for aught less than what they believed to be their ancestral home of Locus Amonis, a claim the Corvosi would readily take arms to denounce. We would not do well to further fan the flames of animosity twixt them. Then perhaps, at the very least, we can offer them peace of mind, and a means to regain some semblance of stability in their lives. To offer them true comfort and stability, Garlemald must be rebuilt. ... Yeah, they They need a new home. By no means an easy solution, but perhaps the only one worthy of pursuit. Of course, this new Garlemald must remain a sovereign nation, free from the oversight of others. Aye, they would see no meaning in it otherwise. If I'm not mistaken, Alphino and Alizé have already made strides in helping the people here regain some normalcy in their day-to-day living. A most important first step, but it will mean little without proper leadership. Rather than a single individual, perhaps a governing body of sorts would prove more effective. There are a number of former Senate members among the refugees at Camp Broken Glass, as I recall. With their help, creating the framework for new governance is not an impossibility. Then let us call the people together and see what they make of our proposal. We'll just rebuild their government, easy. The final days has taken much from you all. I can but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. And though the final days have been averted, its effects yet linger, and a blasphemy has been born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before further harm is wrought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person, but as a people united, there may yet be hope for the morrow. While it is not our place to decide how you will move forward, we would offer a small measure of guidance. We were told a number of former members of your Senate yet remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals, until such time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuild Garlemald? Is such a thing truly possible? Even if we do cobble together some governing council, they won't be making anything of that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Locus Amonis either. Rack and ruin. Those are our only options. I realise to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but you needn't undertake it alone. My children are working with members of the First Legion as we speak to begin an organised relief effort. And there are others from the provinces, no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of this star, and others will heed your call. If you should still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you residency in Charlayan. I promise you will be welcomed with open arms. Aww. Charlayan. So now you'd expect us to go and lick boots in some country we've never even heard of? Aw. My apologies if I appeared overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies on non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you are unfamiliar with my homeland. It is an island nation to the north, home to myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Charlayan to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you would be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why exactly would you go to such lengths for us? For the conquerors you barely know? Charlayan was long aware of the coming doom that would be the final days, and so we were preparing to evacuate this star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was not our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well. It was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well. But we had not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, your rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided that we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. We had convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good, though I can think of at least one individual who continued to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Louis Soir. Sage counsel I brazenly cast aside when confronted with the final days in earnest. But Melchan here and her companions refused to forsake those we were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risk to themselves, they achieved the impossible and opened my eyes to the error of the Forum's decision. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, perhaps we should at least consider it. Then it would be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you shall have warm food and beds both. Oh, there was a bug in that line, was there? That line was directed towards the people of Garlemald. Damn, that's cool. That's some really good backstory. Admiral Merwib and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how best to assist the Garleans moving forward. Should we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. He said his companions on release no matter your gender. Ah, okay. I'm glad they fixed that nice and quick. Oh, someone's watching. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me from just off screen. Strength. Oh, I don't know. These aren't high quality. Cheapo ones. Maybe I'll use them for early prog. Misguided few. Though visibly relieved the Garleans are safe, the hardness in Fortunal's eyes suggests your work is far from over. With the Garleans' hearts at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, a blasphemy's behaviour is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of their originator, in which case it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous, then, that a number of soldiers from the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer can tell us who among them knows aught of Nerva's whereabouts. Sounds good. Just check if there's anyone still around here to talk to. Nope. Let's go say hi to the twins. See if they say anything new. They were hanging out over here last I saw them. Twins! And Euless! I don't know about you, but I've seen enough suffering and despair to last a lifetime. Needless to say, we'll do all we can to keep anyone else from turning. Aw. Ah, I thought I might see you here. We heard you'd come to assist the Alliance leaders with the Blasphemy discovered here in Ilsabard. Alizé and I are doing what we can to help keep the people calm. I shudder to think what might happen were anyone to become one of those hideous beasts. Aw. I didn't expect to see the twins in Garlemald again. Like you, they risked life and limb to save the world, and some would say they've earned a lifetime of peace and quiet. Yet here they are. When they said they wished to help us, they truly meant it. And if even outsiders haven't given up on us, then how could we possibly give up on ourselves? The road to recovery will be long and hard, but we'll spare no effort. We'll rebuild Garlemald into a nation that all can be proud of, for those who were still here, as well as those who couldn't be. Yeah. I was wondering if the twins were going to be involved in these quests, but it doesn't look like it. Presumably because they might move later on in the MSQ. Hello. Just say hi to you two first. Thank you again for answering our call for aid. I pray the matter can be resolved quickly before anyone else succumbs to the Blasphemy's influence. That a blasphemy should appear now of all times bodes ill for Garlemald. That said, I have faith we will find a way to fell the beast ere long. Hello, intelligence officer. I see. Perhaps it'd be best if you speak with Virgilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion. She's still on the mend, but the Chirurgeons aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you would wait here a moment. Gonna go stand next to the torch because I'm freezing. Eorzea's champion, I presume, and one of her cohorts. What business have you with me? Ilsabard is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be key in stopping it. Thus do we believe the Blasphemy to be Nerva. His whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva? From what we have pieced together thus far, you were one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well. Though I suspect what meagre knowledge I possess shall avail you naught. I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Cenaculum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate, for news that the tide might turn in our favour. The next day, I left for the front line. It was there I heard a terrible noise, which I assume came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me, and I remember naught after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case, Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been devoted to Garlemald. For glory everlasting, he would say. To watch the empire he loved so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. It stands atop the remains of the imperial palace, and the throne he revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva, apparently, is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. We will fell the beast. You have my word. Apologies for the interruption. Carney Senna has arrived, and we're ready to depart. 'Tis good to see you, Melchan, Master Folchenol. Hello. I have spoken with Lawrence of the ward protecting the Blasphemy, and I am quite confident some manner of aether-based magic bars our path. If I may be so bold, Elder Seedseer, we reached the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. These creatures born of the final days are devoid of ether. As such, they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it's possible they manipulated Dynamis to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier fueled by ether. That is, until I stepped foot here in Garlemald. Even now, I can sense streams of ether flowing toward the tower. Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. 'Tis merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the currents with mine own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? Nod. I would join you as well, if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blade. Sure? I would not be opposed to your company, but it is not my decision to make. She may go, so long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Very good. Might I suggest we begin with Regio Urbanissima? I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. Somebody's watching me. Which faction leaders aren't here yet? We don't have Hien. I wonder if Rauban's coming. Do we have the picture? Yeah, Rauban. Alright, where are we going? Up there, okay. Hello. Goodbye. Take a drink while we fly. So all this was destroyed in the Civil War, was it? For the throne, in the first and the third fort. Horrifying. It would seem I underestimated the resourcefulness of our adversary. I heard word that Odin should be arriving before long. I can already picture him knocking his knees, muttering under his breath about the cold. I will never understand how anyone could grow accustomed to such cold climes. Part of me does not wish to believe this blasphemy is Lord Nerva, that I failed to protect him. And yet, I'm sure it's just my imagination, but I can't help but feel we're being watched again. It's probably fine. As I thought, the ether stream here flows toward the tower, as do all others in this region, no doubt. This convergence first began when the Tolophoroi erected spires in all corners of Eorzea to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, this divergence of ether should have ceased. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Bum bum bum! Nero! My, you're sharper than you look. Nero! Best character suddenly shows up. I recognize you. Nero, yes? Why are you following us? Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Garlemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has become of my home? That's fair, actually. I know not what you're scheming, but we've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland would make better company for you. Spare me. I am a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I would set my sights to the stars beyond. Which is why you snuck into the tower. But like us, you couldn't get past the Blasphemy to reach the transporter. Oh God. He wants to go to the moon? I don't think we should let Nero on the moon. Without supervision, at least. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you would dispense with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. Do you have reason to believe we are not? Or, perhaps, does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Damn. Far be it from me to steal your glory, having come all this way. But, as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible! They all vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor, but obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Oh. Ah, yes, the manufacturing district, just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat, considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether. Barely enough to sustain life, let alone the spire. But if one were to use Varus's remains to forcibly create a confluence of sorts... Precisely. And from what I gleaned of the tower's systems, his heart serves as its core. Oh God. Coursing not with blood, but your precious ether, and now Nerva has amassed a surfeit to shore up his defences. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Oh, did I say that aloud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire. Oh, God. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. Paucity? Paucity? We must hurry and find his heart to both spare the land this wanton harvesting and deny the blasphemy the source of its protection. We're talking like the literal heart, right? This is kind of messed up. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us? As I said, I've no intention of stealing your glory, though I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. It means the presence of something only in small or insufficient quantities. Ah, okay. Thank you. Just going to take a drink of water. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it will not be long before his presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. Oh God. But more importantly, we will lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius. Bold of me to think I can stop him from absconding to the moon. Yeah. I mean, he's smart enough, he could just build like a rocket or something, right? Build his own spaceship. How so very unfortunate. In any event, 'twould seem time is of the essence. That's all well and good, but even if we know which district to search, finding the heart will be like looking for a needle in a bloody haystack. Actually, I may know where we can start. Oh? It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollections of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it's as good a place as any to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility will be heavily guarded. Then maybe it'd be for the best to divide our forces. If it's just the four of us, shouldn't prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart. Has he got like a flower earring? That's kind of cool. Meanwhile, our main force can stand ready to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrier gives out. Leave it to us. Be safe. Be safe. Don't die. No dying. It's banned. Franco. This is Livier. What? Very well. We shall return at once. A number of Garleans have left camp for the Tower of Babel. Oh god. They have somehow misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nerva has taken refuge there. Still clinging to their ill-placed patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far. If we act quickly, perhaps they can be found before they come to harm. Oh god. A wise man would not waste his time on a few wayward refugees. I thought you Charlayan scholars knew better. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, sir. Aw, you tell him. If it is all the same to you, Melchan, I would join you. I will return to camp and begin preparations for our assault on the tower. Yeah, sorry about background noise there. And I suppose I should go as well. I think we should warn the Loporrits about Nero. Though I am unarmed, I promise not to be a burden. That said, it would behoove us to avoid any undue confrontations if possible. Now then, let us be off. Oh, yay! 4 Chanel's accompanying me. Nice. Hello. We have no time to lose. If they should reach the tower, there's no telling what may happen to them. Alright, where are we going? To the north. Oh, I can mount up, can't I? You'll just reappear. No trace of them here. Let us keep searching. Help! Someone, please! Did you hear that? It came from over there. Oh. Ah. Yeah, you... yeah. That works for Chanel. He's trying. He should have kept his cool sage equipment. Boom! Dragoon go boing. They are understandably shaken, but otherwise appear to be unharmed. Excuse me, sir. Can you keep it down? Thank you. You're the ones who came to speak with us before. We heard Lord Nerva had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... No. Not Lord Nerva, too. Oh, God. Then there really is nothing left for us. No, don't transform! I'll not deny your situation is dire, but you are not without a path forward. I believe you have the passion and conviction needed to rebuild Garlemald, if you so choose. Or, failing that, you could begin life anew in Charlayan. Rebuild Garlemald? No, there is no point in entertaining so lofty a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary? Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you would not see Garlemald rise from the snow and ashes here in Ilsabard, might you consider venturing unto a new frontier? A new frontier? And where, exactly, is this land ripe for exploration? There. On the moon. We're gonna send him to the moon. It is our goal to create a repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. As I understand, the magitech and technological advancements of Garlemald were without peer. Your expertise will be indispensable in the endeavour. Should you be willing, of course. You really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Have you a better alternative? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to grandeur for complacency in the present, or rumination in the past. We live for the future. It is in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this. You have heard the beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me? Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down, you long to reach for the unreachable. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Reach for the unreachable? That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. Are they going to be Nero's moon crew? Is he recruiting him a moon crew? Then we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. Nod. It's hard to believe Lord Nerva, of all people, could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. Thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Shrug. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single Garlean to be among those venturing to the moon. Who else am I to prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? Wait, you're not going? I thought you were going. Nero. I told myself I would not get overly involved, and yet here I am. Aw. Sid would be proud. Forlorn glory. Portiono is eager to regroup and make ready for battle. From what Nero has told us, time is now a luxury we can ill afford. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing their preparations for battle. Teleport. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Where's all the leaders? I want to say hi to them. Can't see them. I should hope the other's absence means all proceed to pace. Oh, right, they were trying to get the frickin' heart. Ugh. Good. You're here. With the recent arrival of reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. Hey! Them! Apologies for our lateness. It seems we are at least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. Aye, and if the fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lord Hien, thank you both for coming. Yes. Yes, of course. Understood. Lorenz and the others have reclaimed Varus's heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. Then the time has come at last to storm the Tower of Babel. Yeah. Admiral Merwib and Lord Emmerich await our arrival at its base. You coming? Then we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is as good an opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting over. Yes! Use the cool rocket hammer! I will accompany you as well. As the Forum's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it my responsibility to see this through to the end. Are you sure you wouldn't rather wait here? I didn't take you for the fighting type. Despite appearances, I am no stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I have seen my fair share, travelling the world in service to the Forum. Though I may not be the equal of Alphinaud or Alizé, we shall not find ourselves wanting. I can promise you that much. We're going to have a big crew here. I love it. When you have all finished your preparations, we shall reconvene at the Enceladium. I know that word, definitely. We should probably do something about this tower. Make it look a bit nicer. Maybe put some decorations on it. I'm going to guess Fortunal's going to go Sage. Maybe he has a pair of backup, or a set of backup leads. Is that what they're called? I don't know. You're glowing! Are you okay? All are present and accounted for. Should we proceed? Yes. Progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. Yes, let's do it! This sounds like fun. Look at all these cool faction leaders. Also, Nero's here. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the Blasphemy, Nerva. Though the barrier guarding him is no more, a number of beasts will surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. Eh? It's beginning to melt down. Off to a smashing start, I see. It would seem the tower will reach its limits sooner than I anticipated. If we're to save the transporter, we must hurry and find Nerva. Now! Let's go. Iron Nero. It should go without saying, but stay on your guard. There was quite the menagerie of horrors when last I was here. Look at our crew. Got 2 tanks. Yep, he's a sage. Got 2 healers. I don't know what Nero is. We'll find out, I guess. Got several DPS. They're upon us. 2 arms. I can give them the eye. Nice. I can give them my Dragoon Eye. A whole raid static. Oh, yeah, this is cool. I want to see them go do P1S. Milb and I shall hold them off. Press on, my friends. Oh, no, don't leave us already. Ah,
The path has been revealed.
we had a whole crew. All right. Someone want to heal Emmerich? He's missing some health, and I don't like that. I'm gonna backseat heal. Whee! I shall hold the line here. When you see an opening, take it, and do not look back. Oh. Alright, have fun. Catch up with you later. Whee! Never did make things easy. Let's get this over with. Who wants my eye? I'll give it to Nero. You got my eye now, mate. Whoa! There is no end to them. Ah! Nero's just spinning with his rocket hammer. Can I have a rocket hammer? I want a rocket hammer. Oh! Careful there, Levior. They have set their sights on you. Oh my god, that's so many. AoE! Ian can have my eye. There you go. Ah! Ah! I will see to the rabble. You focus on the large one there. Okay, what are you doing? Roban showing off. Oh, that's cool. Now Ian's doing something cool. my god, Nero's got a hammer uppercut. It's like Monster Hunter. Nero definitely the high passing but toxic AF DPS, yes. Absolutely. That was cool. Complains about how long prog take, yeah. Is it the last of them? What? Of course not. We can't afford for them to impede our advance any further. Commander Alden, let us hold them here. Master Fulchino, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. It's just 3 of us now. Blasphemy. Nerva Yea Galvus. It's that boss from Amarot. Leave. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Let's go. This ends here, Nerva. For Garlemald, her people, and all who would call this star home. Yeah. Take my eye, Nero. For glory everlasting. I guess I'm the tank. Rise, my legion. That sounds cheery. Ah, heads. Bravest ego. Whoa. Hold on, Motran. Whee! That was cool. Special rescue. He's bringing in the heads again. Oh, that's probably not good. Oh, that's not good either. Fractured ego. I'm guess it looks like this person has issues with ego. Whee! Gonna follow Nero. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He probably watched the guide 50 times before we started. To me, my legion. Oh, that picture in the portrait looks creepy. Oh. Boom! Bring them here and leave the rest to me. Alright. Go, Nero, do it! Boom! Oh, that's cool. You can thank me later. Oh, that's cool! Did Sage get that shield animation? Because that's cool. Oh, we got to attack it to drive it back. Oh, God. This game's so good. We've come too far to give up now. Well, I think Fortuno's out of the fight. Well, let's put an end to this, shall we? No, he's back. I never expected to fight by the side of Fortuno and Nero at the same time. A very unlikely duo. Grrr, we did it. That was so cool. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Then Nero rolls need on everything. For glory everlasting indeed. Hi. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps, but yes. I'd say we've managed to avoid a fiery ruin. Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Charlayan has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus did we fervently hold to our policies of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service to our plans of exodus, to abandon this star to its ruinous fate. Harsh though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Charlayan will now find a new way forward, not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of the star and all who call it home. I believe I speak for all of the Forum when I say it would be an honour and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the Allied nations. Aye, an age of true and everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it, together. Aww. Nero was alt-tabbed throughout all that, just checking his pass. Hey Agnika, welcome. That dungeon was the second Endwalker one. Tower of Babel. Yeah. Well, that was a solo duty, but that was the setting they used. Tower of Babel. Really good dungeon. As much as I would enjoy a riveting conversation with Eorzeus champion, I really must make ready for the moon. Now, if you'll excuse me. 'Tis a relief to know we've no longer a need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I am ill-suited to it. The Allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far and above what I might expect from diplomatic figures. And you, my friend, I see now why you are so well regarded as Eorzea's champion. The others have already begun the arduous journey home, but before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans would be forfeit, and the lands of Ilsabard forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I've no need for your platitudes. I labour only to further my own ends, nothing more. Well, he's honest. We heard the news. Thank you for everything. With Lord Nerva laid to rest, we have the peace of mind to move on without regret. Bunny! There you are. Now, what's this I've heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Babel? Are we finally ready to return to the moon? Ah, what fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to Livingway of the Loporrits, moon dweller and overseer of the survey team. Livingway, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Loporrits will take good care of them. Pleased to meet you? Residents? Oh no. Oh yes, splendid. After many, many long years of planning and preparation, the moon is absolutely, most definitely, ready to accommodate your stay. Glad to hear it, and apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence and see to our final preparations, but your residents-to-be and the survey team shall be along ere long. Might I trouble you to relay word of our success to Shirabat and Radzethan? I should think the tidings all the more heartening coming from you. Until next we meet. Do I not get to see Nero react to the Loporrit? But wait! You're not leaving for the moon without me! Oh, you've been doing the Asphodelos Savage raids. Oh, nice. Well, you can always do New Game Plus for Endwalker if you wanted. Hope you're enjoying Asphodelos. Music still reminds you of a track in FF XV. Might be intentional. Could be. Well, are we done with that? I didn't get to say goodbye to the nation leaders. They all left. Hello. With Lord Nerva gone, I dare say we have truly seen the end of the Empire. The path forward for the people of Garlemald will not be easy, but I have no doubt they now walk the path to a better and brighter future. Our plans to help the people form an interim government proceed apace. A long and trying process, to be sure, but the benefits far outweigh the costs. Could turn this in, I suppose. Hopefully that was the last blasphemy. It's raining. Hello. So it's true then? The blasphemy in Garlemald has been struck down? They were right to call on you, it seems. And with no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you've slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us. Strange though that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the Radiant host, I extend to you our humblest thanks. I hope when next I call on you, it will be under more fortuitous circumstances. Critical hit. Yum. Sum of our parts. Blessed relief. Nice. That was the 6.1 role quests. That's the end of that for now. That was good. Ah, the mighty hero returns. You can almost hear the world taking a collective sigh of relief with the blasphemies defeated. Still, it's no excuse for us to rest on our laurels. We will remain diligent in our search for potential threats, and if any should arise, I hope we'll be able to call on you once more. Cool. We are done there. Let's go say hi to the twins, see if they got anything new to say. Tertium. I really like that. It's fun getting all those characters together. Oh, that duty was so fun. I want to just replay that duty. Hello. Did Father really storm into the Tower of Babel alongside you? I told him not to overexert himself, but he never listens. If he were anyone else, I'd give him a thick ear for being so reckless. The next time you see him prepare to do anything rash, do be sure to call on me. I'll feel better knowing that both of us are there to keep an eye on him. Aw, cute. It's a relief to see you back in one piece. With the blasphemy gone, the people here can finally begin piecing their lives together. Not an easy feat by any measure, but they are a resilient people. Even so, they're going to need help, which is why I plan to stay a while longer. And that's the same dialogue as before? I wonder if we can see anyone on the moon now. Hanging out with the Loperites. I'm wondering if I should try doing the new Omega quests. I'm not sure how long they are. I'm really curious about them though. Hello. Any cheeky Neros up here on the moon? Doing things they shouldn't? I don't see anyone. It's a big place though. It's huge. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's do the new Omega quest from 9.15. 30 to 45 minutes. Ah, thank you. That sounds perfect. Yeah, let's go do that. Over in Charlene, I believe. That's where that starts. We've got the perfect mount for it too. We've got Omega. And that was down here, I think? Yeah. That looks like it. A heartless hypothesis. Bespectacled technician. Hello. Alpha. A heartless hypothesis. The bespectacled technician is enjoying the refreshing harbour breeze. That's blown the cobwebs away. Time to return to work. Goodness me, look who it is. How incredibly serendipitous that I would run into you, of all people. I was part of the team which designed the Ragnarok, you see, and we've recently begun the process of combing through the vessel's flight log data. The primary objective of your journey to Ultima Thule was to save our star and countless others, of course, but it also provided us with an invaluable trove of information, records of places and events we could only dream of. Your safe return gave us much to be thankful for. As it so happens, one of the things we pulled from the log was a transmission of unknown origin, something the ship must have intercepted during its flight. We believe it to be an audio message, but even our most talented linguists have been unable to decipher the language. For a while there, it seemed we must accept defeat, but today may be the day that we finally solve the mystery. If you were so inclined, would you care to come along to Thormazane? It seems fitting to have one of the Ragnarok's original passengers present to hear history being made. Sure. Hey Blazing, welcome. Yeah, we just finished the roll. I should update the stream title. New Omega quests. Shocked face. Yeah, we just finished the 6.1 roll quests. And so now, we're seeing what's up with these new Omega quests. Hello. I think I'm in the wrong place. Okay, can I take the lift with my robot? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Well written and beautiful. Oh, that sounds good. I've been really looking forward to this ever since I heard they were making a new Omega side story. Additional dialogue. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll look out for the extra dialogue. There you are. This is where we're to meet the engineers from Garlemald Ironworks, who, I am told, potentially hold the key to unlocking our mystery transmission. Is it just Alpha and Omega? They should be along at any moment. Sorry we're late. We had some trouble finding the right... Gods, is that you, Mel-chan? Biggs and Wedge. Grr. Yes, the woman herself. I ran into her at the harbour and thought if anyone deserved to hear this message deciphered, it was Mel-chan and Gora. No argument here, but bugger me if you don't have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. This actually has more to do with you than you might think, so please, do stick around. Sure? Shall we pick up from where we left off then? As I was saying, we think this transmission the Ragnarok intercepted is a message of some kind, albeit in a language entirely alien to our ears. Alien being the operative word here. Considering we received the message out in the great expanse, its origin was likely some distant star. Unfortunately, our list of off-world allies is presently rather short. Thus, we were resigned to the fact that the meaning behind the message would remain beyond our understanding. What's with that weird grin? One of my colleagues, however, refused to give up. She remembered the Ironworks engineers, who had been so helpful in the construction of the Ragnarok, and turned to them for insight into our seemingly impossible problem. Do you know what Wedge said when he heard what was going on? We should have Omega listen to it. I bet it can tell us what the message means. Not the Omega you beat in the Rift, of course. He's talking about the toy that trundles around with Alpha, the little model we made. We originally designed it to follow a chosen target and not much else, but I've seen it act in ways that... well, it's like it has a mind of its own. Then I got to thinking about those documents your lot sent the Chief, the full report on the final days. In the part about Omega's civilization, it said their people discovered how to convert the mind into data and store it outside the body. Timing being what it was, I wonder if Omega didn't somehow transfer its consciousness into our model right before you put an end to the real one. Them! So, in an effort to get to the bottom of that, as well as take a crack at this indecipherable message, we decided to make some modifications. With help from Labyrinthos technicians, we've upgraded our toy Omega with a fully functional vocalization module. Omega can talk! We played the transmission for Omega, and I think it's ready to share. I forgot how big Alpha is. Are you in there, Omega? Hello? Are you in there, Omega? Hello? Affirmative. If by Omega you're referring to my consciousness, rather than my entire former chassis, existing inside this considerably smaller frame. Prediction. You will formulate several misconceptions. These I shall preemptively dismiss, based on the following facts. 1. Vocalization module aside, this chassis remains unmodified from the design constructed by the engineers Biggs and Wedge. I evaluate its combat capabilities to be on par with a mortal infant. 2. The mechanism which allowed me to perform an emergency transfer of my consciousness was installed in my previous body. With the destruction of that body, I am rendered incapable of replicating such a feat. Should this current material form be destroyed or cease to function, all cognitive awareness or presence I possess will also be lost. Aw. I'm baby. Yeah. Conclusion. I present no threat to you or your star, nor do my projections indicate the necessity to inflict harm. In the fraction of a moment before my annihilation in the Rift, I re-examined my directives. If I am to fulfill my purpose as an evolving construct, then I must continue my journey for improvement for so long as I exist. I must acquire this heart of yours, this strength of soul. Well, there you have it. And it's not wrong about its combat capabilities. It'd be more likely to damage itself than the thing it was trying to attack. Well, let's not forget the reason we brought you here in the first place. What about the transmission they played for you? Could you recognize the language? Affirmative. It was transmitted in Pan-Galactic Basic. Pan-galactic basic? A common language in comparatively extensive usage throughout the world we have conquered. Which means you can finally tell us what the message said. That is a language you understand, yes? I understand it perfectly. I am fluent in over 6 million distinct dialectal codings. Bloop. My cooperation in this matter, however, is conditional. Uh-oh. What do you want? Elaboration. Your chief, Sid, utilizes the floor as part of his unorthodox filing system. He leaves shit on the floor. Which allowed me to scan the report on the final days. I am aware that my home star, the one you call Alphatron, was obliterated in the aftermath of Sir and Meteon's meeting. Oh, little Alpha. The existence of Dynamis has not previously factored into my projections, but I now comprehend the concept. In theory. What fails to compute is why the Omicrons were not immune to its effects. Dynamis should have no influence on a race which possesses no heart. And yet, Sir expressed to Meteon a desire to cease existing. Illogical. I must pursue this anomaly further, until the full equation becomes clear to me. I must analyse all the elements of the final days, and deepen my understanding of the heart's intangible properties. To expedite this process, I require an external interpretation of those sections of the report which continue to produce errors in my calculations. You want to go to Ultima Thule, basically. I request the assistance of Melchan Angora, as one who experienced the ravages of ultimate despair on multiple fronts, and displayed immeasurable heart in engineering my defeat. She is the optimal choice to fulfill this role. Oh, is Alpha's going to sleep? Yeah, it's not necessarily less genocidal. I realise it's basically potato GLaDOS and just needs to not. So we either agree to your conditions, or you tell us nothing. I'm sorry to put you in a spot like this, Melchan. If you have the time, and the patience to spare, we'd all be grateful if you could humour the toy's demands. Aw. Has Alpha dozed off? I suppose the subject was a bit technical. Boop. Rouse yourself, Alpha. You must listen to and consider these matters, even as I must. Where? Why don't you make a trip out of it? You know, actually visit the places that has the things Omega wants to ask about. It'll make explaining stuff easier, for one, and also help keep Alpha awake and alert. So cute. Oh, Alpha's awake. Queer. What a remarkable development. Biggs and Wedge told me much of your encounter with Omega before we began, and now that we have the Omicron's weapon talking, there are so many questions I'm simply dying to ask. Back when we were first exploring our options, we did actually consider playing the transmission to the inhabitants of Ultima Thule. The problem is, we would be dealing with beings recreated through Dynamis. Their communications based on emotional energy, and anything lacking that vital component would likely fail to register. That rules out a recorded message. And so, we focused on the resources we had to hand. never dreaming that the solution would all but fall into our lap. Omega has been an outright terror to us in the past, but it's almost strange how little it frightens me now. It helps that it's trapped inside that tiny model, of course, and that it follows Alpha around like a puppy. But most of all, I remember the Chief telling me how much it sounded like a lost child there at the end. I bet the Chief won't see this one coming. Once he gets over the shock, though, I don't think he'll want us to destroy Omega. Nero, on the other hand, he'll want to use the model for some dangerous experiment. In fact, maybe we should put off making a report for now. That sounds like a good idea. I see you have chosen the mutually beneficial option. Logical. Setting aside the matter of Sir, there are 3 elements of the report on which I desire clarification. The first of these concerns the progression of the final days in Radzat-Han. I recognise no pattern in those who succumbed to the transformation and those who did not. That's a bit of a trek if you wanted to chat with the locals. How about we lend you an airship? We do not require such outmoded technology. Melchan's teleportation spell is the most efficient option for long-distance travel. This chassis is a model, essentially a toy. An Alpha, despite his organic composition, is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Conclusion. We qualify as material possessions. Pick us up, and you can teleport the 3 of us to our destination. Begin Omega's journey for answers. Yes! Yes. Aw. Pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. Oh, I don't literally pick them up. Queer. Look, sensors indicate we have arrived in Radzat-Han. Objective. Identify factors for resistance to involuntary transformation. Hypothesis. Unaltered survivors of the final days will display significant strength of heart. Confirming this theory will require the cooperation of live subjects. Where is the ward designated for residential habitation? Live subjects. Understood. Karma set as our sub-destination. Please take the lead and select the subjects we are to interview. Omega and Alpha are accompanying me. Ah! Yes. 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 Ah, yes. I love them. Quick. This body has no advanced navigational or geoscanning functionality. You must lead the way. Ah, my friends. Ah, I love them. Ah. Best. Alright, where are we going? This way. Up there. Oh, I can probably teleport there. Oh yes, I've got to look out for optional dialogue. Oh, there was one right there. Hang on, got to get the optional dialogue. Yeah, that's such a good change. Push your front out the way. Warning. Please avoid stairs whenever possible. My projections indicate high risk probability for accidental slippage, leading to catastrophic structural damage. Steep inclines also increase my energy consumption by 63%. In mortal terms, they tire me out. Aww. Same. Taking into account the difference in individual limb length, the design is inherently flawed. A convenient step height for one is an exhausting trial for another. Were I to oversee the civic design of this settlement, I would construct a sloped conveyor belt which enabled automatic traversal. 0 personal energy expenditure. Excellent. Quick. Alpha chirps enthusiastically, apparently unfazed by the prospect of climbing the stairs. Any other speech bubbles? I don't see any at the moment. Come up the stairs, Omega. Yeah, you have no problems, because that would be kind of hard to code. God, I love the music here. Hello. Hey, don't I know you? Yes, after the beasts were taken care of, you told me to join everyone in the square. Thanks to you, I was there when Vitra gave his speech. And I found out who Varshan really was. It's a shame we don't get to play like we used to. But Mama says Vitra has been busy putting the city back in order. Maybe I can work for him one day, when I'm a man grown. Vitra, Midgard Sorma's offspring, yes? And this child wishes to put himself at the worm's command, that he might make his own contribution to society. A pattern emerges. I predict that the Harnish survivors are those who had ingested Vitra's blood and become his draconic minions. Though dragons were no match for our civilization's might, their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is unlikely they would experience emotions of dread or uncertainty, as exhibited by lesser beings in times of undue stress. Dragons? I'm not a dragon, and I never ingested anyone's blood either. Ew. You are not of Vitra's horde. So you possessed no hidden means to fight off the beasts. What of fear, then? You were frightened? Yes, I was frightened. I just hid and hoped they wouldn't find me. At least, until she told me it was safe to come out. Omega doesn't trust dragons. I still see Varshan around from time to time, you know. They say he uses that body to scout places where his Vitra body can't fit. He even talked to me once, but it was just too strange hearing grown-up words coming from Varshan's mouth. Please continue the questioning. These auditory senses are inferior, but I am able to hear your conversations with sufficient clarity. Quick. I love how Omega immediately jumped to, oh, yep, that they've been enthralled by the dragon. Dragon's bad. Oh, hello again. You're the one who came to ask me questions about Kausal. I'm glad to see you looking well after all that unpleasantness. I remember the burning skies and hearing the screams, but truth be told, I'm still confused as to what actually happened. I only know it wasn't unusual for entire families to go missing. Many of my neighbours' houses lie empty, even now. Kausal's place was one of them. He had no close relatives to speak of. and I heard that it was members of the consortium who came to remove his belongings. What a terrible thing to have to do. Blip. Terrible. Cowsell's passing was recorded in the report. Clearing out his domicile and readying it for new habitation seems an appropriate reallocation of resources. Dear me, what a clever little contraption. But of course I'm not against making use of his quarters. That would be wasteful. It's simply that Cowsell was always such a vigorous person. All that passion, all those dreams, suddenly gone. I feel the same sorrow for everyone who was lost, seeing the remnants of those vibrant lives packed away in boxes. That is what I mean by terrible. That awful end of days business almost brought an end to Cowsell's consortium. It's heartening, though, watching those who survived work to carry on his legacy. Maybe it's time I put aside my own grief and did something to help. Hello, melancholy man. Are you a traveller? Please, if you have a moment, I could use an outsider's perspective. You see, I was one of those who sought to escape the madness plaguing the world by fleeing to the moon. Not that we ever went in the end. So here I am, recently returned from Charlayan. Except now things are strained between my sister and I, since she chose to stay and I chose to leave. I asked her to help me find work, and she suggests I look somewhere that isn't Thavnair, as if I wanted to abandon my home. It makes me so angry. Blip, your point is unclear. You elected to relocate to the star's satellite. Thus your relative now perceives you in a negative light. Your sibling's judgment is in error. Based on the information made available to Harnish citizens, your decision to withdraw to the moon was both logical and correct. Conversely, the decision to remain in Razet Han, despite the low probability of survival, defies explanation. Perhaps her reasoning pathways are faulty. That's right. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'm right, aren't I? Or so I'd like to think. The problem is, I understand why my sister feels this way. I almost decided against going myself. Even then, I wasn't sure that leaving behind everything I loved was the right choice. And with the way it all turned out, Melchan, I require a moment to process this input. Let us move apart and discuss our findings. I know. I should be having this talk with my sister. I'll go and see her once I get my thoughts in order. Thank you for listening to my troubles. Blip. Input overload. I must have time and distance from the subjects to process this data. Quick where? Aww. Push your front. Bloop. Processing data. Evaluating hypothesis against accumulated evidence. I offered an optimal analysis of each subject's testimony, yet each time their responses conflicted with my assessment. Without identifying the root cause of this conflict, I will be unable to properly define what constitutes strength of heart. Perhaps the heart you seek lies in the conflict itself. Perhaps we should continue the questioning. Perhaps this matter is beyond you. Perhaps the heart you seek lies in the conflict itself. An interesting observation. It is possible my base criteria is in error. In which case, it is imperative that I continue this learning process and repair any fundamental misconceptions. Next, I wish to interact with an individual who endured similar circumstances to Calzel prior to his transformation. Are you acquainted with any local merchants who had dealings with him? Blip. Jinabaha of Ruveda Fibers. Acknowledged. Subdestination set. Objective. Speak with Jinabaha of Ruveda Fibers. What imperceptible qualities allowed him to survive, where Calzel did not? Quare. I don't know if Alpha understands what we're doing, but it's just kind of along for the ride. Bum, 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 bum. Discuss the Hamsa. Quick queer. Alpha looks back and forth between Omega and the Hamsa, showing visible concern. Halt, Melchan. Do not proceed beyond the fence. In this body, birds of that size represent lethal, unthinking threats. They will peck my casing apart, searching for meat that does not exist. Conversely, Alpha can correctly identify my absence of nutritional content. If only he would apply that intelligence towards maintaining a regular feeding schedule. Poor habits adversely affect his mobility. That is so cute. Oh. Well, look who it is. I must thank you again for your help in moving our textiles. Recovering from those tragic events has been difficult, of course, but with everyone pulling together, we've managed to get things back up and running. Jinabaha, I come with questions related to that tragedy, specifically, your survival of the final days. Although you are similar to Calzel in all respects, or in many respects, he succumbed to the transformation, and you did not. Why? What is the critical difference between you and him? What? I'm sure I don't know. I'm not especially brave or courageous, if that's what you're asking. Perhaps being focused on protecting our workshops kept me from spinning into a panic. Still, I imagine Calzel would have been feeling that same sense of responsibility. Perhaps the weight of it all is what invited his demise. You were of the same mind, resolved to the same purpose. Yet your strength of heart, of spirit, was not equal. If merely emulating the individual is insufficient, then some other unseen factor must be involved. Not to interrupt these deep philosophical musings, but do you think I could ask you a small favour? There's a man by the name of Nashvan who's been helping us out here while he gets back on his feet. I have a feeling he'd benefit from speaking with you. Leave by the eastern exit, and you should find him just outside, organising some new inventory items. Okay. Please, if you could spare a few moments for Nashvan. Flip, I am still dissecting Jinabaha's remarks. You are permitted to indulge his favour and seek out Nashvan while I continue to process this data. I have gotten permission to go help someone. Quick. Oh. Conversation point. Quick. Alpha puffs out his chest proudly, seeming to imply that his ironworks uniform is the best attire anyone could wear. Aww. How's your fun? The equipment being manufactured here. It is worn to perform specific duties, yes? Conceptually, it seems analogous to our practice of switching frames to better serve our mission objectives. I, for example, did not begin existence with the Omega model. I was originally supplied with a standard issue Omicron chassis, serial number M017. On this world, that alphanumeric combination would be considered my given name. Such designations are drawn from our nearly infinite register of celestial bodies to avoid the possibility of duplication. Furthermore, the cluster known as M017 is better expressed in your language as the Omega Nebula, the same word I use to introduce myself to your kind. Though you associate Omega with the advanced weapon construct, it is also my name, and I see no reason to change it, no matter which frame I inhabit. Okay. That is your name. Hello? That's a side quest I haven't done yet. That's fun. Hello? That's all our orders accounted for, and everything looks to be of good quality. Kamala will be pleased. Hello? You were with the Scions. You were there. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget that day. You and your friends helped us escape when people began changing into beasts. My own son. He was afflicted. Then that huge monstrosity loomed right over him and... Oh. I remember. My heart turning to ice, freezing in place. The satrap came to my aid, but then he, too, was gone. The memories run together in my mind, like flashes from a nightmare. Only the words of your comrade still ring clear. I repeated them over and over, like a mantra, as I fled for my life. Oh, he's the one Graha saved from transforming. You must run, for their sake and your own. It all seemed so surreal, which was probably what saved me from the transformation. The truth of it didn't begin to sink in until the worst of it was over. I have not the words to describe how I felt then. The sorrow, the overwhelming sense of helplessness. I may still be wallowing in misery if not for my old friend, Jinabaha. I'd lost my will to work, and he encouraged me with kind words and odd jobs. Now, somehow, I live again. I'm thankful to him, to the courageous Ahawan, and to you. If you see your comrades, please let them know their efforts were not in vain. You said you lost your will to work. This signifies a cessation of efforts to maintain basic life functions, yes? What changed to extract you from that stagnation? An offer of work from Jinabaha should mean little to one without the desire to accept it. Was it some manner of mortal instinct, a primal need to survive and thrive? Instinct? No, it wasn't that. If anything, my instincts were telling me to lay down and welcome an end to the pain. Every day I think of my boy's final moments. I think of how scared he must have been, how it must have hurt, and I want to scream my throat raw. Oh. The satrap too still haunts my dreams. I see him being swallowed whole and jolt awake in a cold sweat. But something changed when the Jinabaha came to me. I looked up and saw that, even without my son or Ahawan, the world around me continued to turn. And because that fact grieved me so, I knew it fell to me to live on and remember them. Strange, isn't it? What drives me to rise in the morning is the very sorrow which once crippled me. Now, I really must return to my work. To lose this job after everything I just said would be a poor jest indeed. May the sisters keep you well. Sorrow. The emotion generated by mortals when their ideals fail to materialize. This I have observed. Yet when I listen to how Nashvan's sorrow served to rescue him from near fatal despondency, his logic eludes me. Am I incapable of perceiving the full measure of the heart's properties? My best projections failed to predict our subjects' responses, and despite their almost equal occupational and mental parameters, Jinabaha and Kausal exhibited different reactions to the dynamis effect. I am no closer to recognizing the pattern for involuntary transformations, and your ephemeral mortal spirits confound me as much, if not more, than they did before. Have you considered that there is no pattern to the people afflicted? The hearts of others were ever shrouded in mystery. Perhaps it's time we move on to the next element you wanted clarified. There is no pattern. People are different. Bloop. No pattern. You imply that the transformation was not contingent on individual fortitude, but rather a random contribution of environmental factors? Such a theory would explain the otherwise conflicting data. Very well. I shall accept this as a provisional conclusion to this part of my investigation. I do, however, expect you to continue supplementing my education of heart-related matters. Heartless hypothesis. There's just an Arcasadara passed out over there. Queer? Queer? Goodbye. Ooh, what's that? A gift! I'm gonna get a present. Omega has selected a new destination. Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaborations on the dealings between the Ilsabard contingent and the citizens of Garlemald. The report described the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions faced a common enemy in the Talofaroi. Why did they not immediately combine forces to their mutual benefit? This inconsistency requires closer examination. Mochan, initiate teleportation. Okay, boss. Oh, you cold, Alpha? Quick. Oh, give me a little hug. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environs. A cold weather region by Aethera standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. This body should not be unduly impeded. In contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering, my frame appears highly resistant to low temperatures. Retrieving data. Records indicate that remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitudes. Bloop. Proceed. They follow. Please approach a contingent member and an Imperial citizen. I require input from both perspectives. I recommend you move at a brisk pace. The exertion will raise your body temperature, preventing you and Alpha from freezing to death. Quick, chew! Aw, baby. Oh, I want to put a little blanket on him. No speech bubbles around here. Move at a brisk pace. Mochan? Come to see how things are progressing, have you? I can't speak for the overall strategy, but communication with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Aeolus and his soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folk even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step. Query. You consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your efforts falls far short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their numbers into your command structure would be the optimal path. Conquering them, basically. Oh, I wouldn't want to go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this the right way, we need to recognise and respect each other's way of life. So, while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with the contingent's slow and steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives. Why can't we hold Alpha and keep him warm? Yeah, exactly. I'm Alamegan, but I was also an Imperial conscript until not so long ago. Though I was lucky enough to have a decent commanding officer, many Garleans treated provincials like we were less than people. On the other hand, natives of Alamigo didn't think much of us either. I guess that's my roundabout way of saying I'm surprised this contingent was even formed in the first place. I feel fortunate to be a part of it. Nothing new there. Oh, sneezy baby. shadow from the past? Yes, I know you from Victor's spoils. Have you come to laugh at me? A wretch who chose to lose Licinia and her sister rather than accept your help? The fool who ended up reliant upon your charity nonetheless? Well, perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely scorn my failed conviction. I have shamed my people and brought dishonour upon my nation. I am no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that you shall not have. I've refused your honeyed offers of a new home. This land is where I belong, and this is where I shall remain. Blip, you demonstrate opposition to the contingent's overtures. On what basis do you refuse this cooperation? The data suggests the local populace is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival? Or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy. No binding orders. I but comport myself as any true Garlean patriot would. Uncompromising. Unbending. Blast it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have heard. There is naught for me here. I know this. But if I surrender my homeland, then what was it all for? I require time and distance to process this data, scanning for suitable locations. Where? Where? The Empire really did a number on its citizens, yeah. It's horrible. Accessing and analysing recorded data. Integration complete. I have evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries in Rads at Han. Consistent only in their inconsistency, the responses from both contingent member and Imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron considering their predicaments would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Hypothesis. The illogical relationship between would-be saviours and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. The heart is often illogical. Flip. Any property or ability has inherent advantages and disadvantages. Yet never have I encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who share your metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. I was like, yay! Query. Prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know, who is this Licinia the Imperial mentioned? I don't want to talk about that. Go watch the VOD. from the Endwalker MSQ. The exact same reaction. Oh, that was such a sad moment. Acknowledged. To summarize, Insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquests. Overwhelmed enemy forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it arises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Cognitive complications. Take me to this Licinia's burial site. It may aid me in Bloop. You okay? Energy delivery systems compromised. Core temperature critically low. Bleep. Warning. Immediate heating required. Request. Apply friction to outer frame. Quick, hug! Hug, Omega, hug! Hug! Quick! Rub some warmth back into Omega's frame. Innocently stepping on a social landmine, yeah. Temperature nominal. Energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Oh my god. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding, as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor's spoils? Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back if you so choose. Those two have a very interesting relationship. Very cute. You may carry me on your back if you so choose. Victor's spoils. Oh, there's someone here. Hi. ... Sorry about everything. Quick. Oops. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Bloop. A deceptively deep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we have successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Almost defeated you. Bloop. Caution advised. An unknown individual appears to be investigating the object of my interest. You're Eorzea's champion, aren't you? Melchan Angora. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I am Manius, soldier of the 1st Legion and comrade of Julius. Perhaps you remember me from Tertium? We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on, after Lord Quintus had passed. I don't really remember you, sorry. Yeah, this is a nice, clear version of this song. Manius. Explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest Magitech weapon I... Ah. No, it's just an oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? In any case, I have nothing worthy to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come and pay my respects. Alphino and Alizé told me the story, complete with profuse apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are in any place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection, which led to countless deaths among our own countrymen. Objection. Objection! The casualties incurred through your infighting are distinct from those caused by the Ilsabard contingent. To restate, you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing the deaths of Licinia and her sister. Retaliation for damages sustained is also a logical progression. I can deduce 2 reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Melchan and her allies. 1. You judge your remaining forces too weakened to contend effectively with the contingent. 2. Your emotions are complicating the issue. Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that... I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals. So would you mind keeping this to yourselves? There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched on the battlefield, certainly. But the real reason I'm not demanding restitution has little to do with weighing the odds. The simple truth is I'm so caught up with simple survival that I've no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging any comrades we've lost, be that my brothers in arms or Lord Quintus himself. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the manner of his passing. Some say he should have fought until the end, that he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice of freedom, and that's the choice I made. I could cry and rant and rage, but what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. And if I need to lead on the contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst your own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. What matter that they're outsiders? Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphino and Alizé. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. They're good kids. Summation. Your desire to survive, even should it mean allying with the contingent, was a feeling you already harboured. That your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. Blunt but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile the decision. Well, this has been oddly cathartic, but I must return to my duties. There are wild beasts to cull, watchfires to light, supplies to transport. Even without an emperor, there's no rest for an imperial. Be well, and stay safe. Blip. Upon review of recent input, I have arrived at an unexpected conclusion. I have been formulating my assessments on the premise that it was man who commanded the strength of his heart, but the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behaviour is compromised. It seems a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. Queer. Queer. Aww. Blip. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal operation being conducted here is the result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I am ready to progress to my third and final query. I would learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. The Loporrits are creations of the ancients, and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculations, the base of these moon dwellers will provide the best source of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Melchan. Preferably before my battery freezes over. Yes, boss. I actually thought that Omega was going to ask me to take it to Elpis. Quick. Alpha meets the Loporrits. Blip. Your teleportation spell was successful. We appear to have arrived at the location described as Bestway's Burrow. An inspection of the technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilizations. This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. I will require external assistance. No, it can't be. It is you! Oh, Melchan, I've missed you so. What's this you've brought with you? It's Best Boy. This soft, feathery vision. We've been out fluffed. Pack up the moon. It's all over. Why bother with burrow-building bunnies when you could walk around with this adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Amazing. Doesn't seem to be treasure in Elpis. Ah, okay. That's cool. None of the treasure maps take you there. That makes sense. Inspect our inventions? Wait, so you're not done with us? Ha! I wasn't truly worried, of course. And I certainly wasn't about to roll myself in dough and dive into Cooking Way's new oven. Please don't do that. If a technical breakdown is what you need, then I am your lopperit. As the resident atmospheric regulation expert, I can field any question or query you might care to pose. Blip. Acceptable. I will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory. Even locked within my current chassis, I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of your life cycles. I am capable of completing this simple objective alone. Are you sure? Don't need me to hold your hand as you cross the road? No, Alpha's still going with you though. Won't replace fluff with more fluff. We want all the fluff. Yes. More fluff. Collect the fluff. Objective complete. Was the tour helpful? What happened to Growing Way? Where's Growing Way? After my 50th question, his responses began to suffer noticeable delays. By that stage, we had viewed a representative cross-section of Lopperit engineering, thus I deemed it unnecessary to retain his company. Conclusion. Extrapolating from the fraction of technology on display, the full spectrum of the ancients' advancements was, at minimum, equivalent to a level 4 civilization. A fact which demands further investigation. Despite establishing a near-ideal society, these beings nevertheless harboured a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Growing Way informed me that another type of ancient-made entity exists upon this satellite, the one they call the Watcher. I would speak to him. Sure. The Watcher's probably pretty lonely by now. Blip. Then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argos to our destination, as you have suggested. Do I get to see Alpha riding Argos? Got to keep an eye out for Nero on the moon now. Could show up at any time. Queer. Argos is pointedly ignoring the existence of Omega and Alpha. Doesn't like them. Bloop. Impedance detected. The creature identified as Argos refuses to acknowledge our presence. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival... Oh my god. Growing Way expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argos is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argos turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. Just think of them as luggage. You're the fluffiest of them all, dear Argos. Yeah, this dialogue's amazing. Oh, but Alpha's fluffy too. Yeah, you're the fluffiest of them all. Argos gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Look, you have secured the creature's permission. Curious. You must have special standing in the fluffiness hierarchy. Bleep, I have allowed myself to become distracted. Let us continue on to the Watcher at once. Oh, an additional line if you're a Mikote, where Omega comments your ears and tail are fluffy. Ah, that's cool. That's cute. Oh, I wonder what the... Oh god, what are they called? The lions. I wonder what dialogue they get. They're pretty fluffy. Hello. MCAT girl. Nice. Queer? Queer? Blip. The Watcher, located. An estimate of this being's height explains the inconvenient scale of Bestway's burrow. Tall. I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they are companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. How may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the Ancients. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavour. But there is another better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favour us with a tale or two of the Ancients you met during your travels, Melchan. Oh boy, I could talk for hours about them. My fragmented memories would be a pale substitute indeed for the clarity of your more recent experiences. Time to talk for hours about Hades and Hythlodaeus and Vanar. God, you're tall. Aww. So cute. Oh, that would make a great screenshot. Yes, I can envision every detail. Your meeting with Vanar and Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus. The sorrow and determination of Hermes. I am a creation of Hydaelyn, and as such, I believe the age of the Ancients would fade and be forgotten. Yet knowing that their memory lives so vividly within you, it brings me great joy. I pray you keep them close to your heart. Aww. At the time of your journey to the past, the one whose essence I embody would have been a scholar of Oneida. A shame. Had you reason to go there, perhaps you might have met. Oneida. As a man of learning, he was firm friends with Vanar. They spent long hours trading theories or debating the laws of the universe. I remember joining her faction as the final days bore down upon us. Yet of the events surrounding that tragedy, I recall precious little. Hydaelyn wished for the people of your age to decide their own path. Thus, I suspect my recollection was limited by design. Yet even she could not cut away one persistent memory. I feel most distinctly his sadness at what was to come to pass, that in becoming Hydaelyn's heart, Venar would forever stand apart from the people she so loved. If she was so resolved in her convictions, then he too would share her sleepless vigil over the future yet to unfold. Thus was the vow he made to Venar as her transformation took hold. His fervent wish must have reached her in some fashion, for though his life was drained away by the summoning, he was reborn with new form and new purpose when I awoke as the Watcher of the Moon. Aww. And you heard, Melchan. You felt. You thought. And in seizing the future for yourselves, have you brought full circle the saga which Venar began. What you accomplished was no divine miracle. It was but the beacon of hope, passed down from one generation to the next. A succession of wishes and prayers, reshaping the star into the world we knew you deserved. You have our deepest gratitude. I thank you not only as myself, but as the man I once was, and on behalf of those who devoted themselves to Venar's vision. Aww. Bloop. Bloop. I understand the facts of your story, Melchan, but not how you have chosen to process them. On what grounds do you speak of Venar with such fondness? By sundering the world, she ultimately guided your kind to victory, yet in doing so, caused irreparable damage to its individual members. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it resulted in a protracted period of suboptimal existence for Emmett Selk and his brethren. Query: if the survival of your kind is the deciding factor in your evaluation, then should you not also admire Hermes and his decision to subject man to a trial, forcing you to change or perish, as was the fate of countless civilizations before you? From my perspective, his determination was similar to that of the Omicron's ancestors, those who first began trading flesh for machine, so that our people may stand against the onslaught of aggression from other races. It was an unprecedented attempt, accompanied by much failure and sacrifice. Their early experiments were crude, primitive. Had they not made those first advances, however, we would have remained vulnerable to our environment. The violence would have utterly consumed us. And what of Emmett Selk himself? Judging by your retelling, he was a benevolent ally, saddled with tragic fate. Yet I remember the days when my instruments fed me data from events across the entire star. During that time, I witnessed his Ascians engineer multiple instances of cataclysmic strife. These calamities, as you know them, were responsible for planet-wide destruction, a man whose endgame relied upon the extinction of all modern mortals must, by definition, be your worst enemy. Damn, you're asking tough questions here, Omega. I require an answer. as a being of heart and soul. How do you classify each of these pivotal figures? From your perspective, which of them was most justified in their actions? Oh, I have to pick? They were all justified in their own way. Benar, Hermes, Emmett Silk, none of them were. Benar and Emmett Silk, I think, in their own way. Oh, and this song's playing in the background. Oh. This piano version of Answers is so good. They all had horrible tragedies of their own that led to what they did and became. Sympathizing with them isn't the same as them being justified, though. That's such a tough question. Like, I'm either going to go they're all justified or none of them were. I think Benar was probably the most justified because she had outside knowledge of what was going on, and she knew we needed to be sundered. Oh, it's a tough one. Shows how good the characters are, that they're all so likable and sympathetic. But their actions are so complicated. They're all justified, I'm going to go with. I mean, I don't really think Hermes was justified. I sympathise with him. But I think Benar was. I think I understand. You seek a definitive answer. Yet based on our experiences, Melchan and I might develop very different opinions. In the same fashion, you are free to form your own thoughts on the matter. Do not be so swift to consider them without merit. I do not have my own thoughts on the matter. I assess each situation with the same logic pathways available to every Omicron. Even if 1,000 Omicrons were asked to analyse the same event, they would all return the same result, regardless of individual experience. There is no strength to be found in fractured reasoning. Nonetheless, I find your input valuable. Recording data alongside interview results. This concludes my investigation into the incomplete elements of the final day's report. I will reanalyze the accumulated information and examine the factors which led to Sir's incomprehensible decision. Blip, let us return to Thormazane. Settled on no one. Yeah. Definitely no definitively correct answer. Yeah, it shows how well written the characters are, that there's... it's not an easy answer. It was pleasant to hear your tales of Elpis. Should you ever need an audience familiar with the subject, I would be glad to listen to more of your recollections. Even with one's gaze fixed upon the future, we oft-times find our thoughts drifting to the past. 'Tis a shame that Heidelin never chose to speak of it. Aw. Didn't expect to get some more Vanar lore. That was really cool. Well, back here. I figured we would go to Ultima Thule at some point, but I guess not. Can even see the argument in favour of Hermes, even though you disagree. Yeah. Yeah, with how that's... Oh, so well written. Crab robot. Coming in. Hello. Could also see choosing none because there's no such thing as an external justice that determines what's most right. And they just all just did what they did. Yeah. Asking who is justified in doing what is such a difficult question. You had a fruitful trip, I hope? I'm absolutely bursting to ask about your experiences with Omega, but I don't wish to be a pest. I will swallow my questions for now and maintain my academic decorum. Besides, it seems our engineering friends are in a hurry to leave. Oh? Blip. Queer. Mel-chan, I wasn't sure you'd be back in time. Oh, what's going on? Ah, there you are. Right at the last moment. Your journey with Omega was properly educational, I hope? We'd planned to ask you all about it and that mystery transmission besides, but I'm afraid something urgent has come up. Seems one of our Ironworks associates has fouled up a job elsewhere, and Jesse needs Wedge and me to rush in and lend a hand. There's an airship already waiting for us out in the harbour, in fact. Do you think you could escort us over there and talk as we walk? Blip. Acceptable. I am fully capable of speech during ambulation. I figured you might be. Right, let's get a move on then. Wonder what Sid's doing at the moment. Oh, this music. So, you've cleared up all those points of confusion then? I had mistakenly classified your intangible heart as an ability of some kind. An uncanny power that Omicrons could neither learn nor even measure. Even now, its full nature yet eludes my comprehension. Based upon our investigations, however, I have decided to alter my definition. A phenomenon which influences one's interpretation of reality. That is as close to an answer as I have found. Accordingly, Sir's actions upon meeting Meteon strongly indicate the presence of a heart. Sir did not follow routine logic, but formulated an independent assessment based upon the reality it perceived. It felt that the best recourse for the Omicrons was to cease their expansion and terminate all functions. Well, here's our ship. Aye, we need to be going. But first, I'll hold you to your bargain, Omega. It's time you told us what was in that transmission from the flight logs. Blip. Acknowledged. I'll uphold the terms of our agreement. The recording salvaged from the Ragnarok was a simple one. The message is so basic, in fact, that the time spent listening to it may result in a net loss of value. Shall I continue? Now you're just teasing. Tell us the message already. Acknowledged. Converting dialect coding to local language. To whomever receives this message out there in the vast reaches of the cosmos, to someone, I hope, who looks up at the stars with the same wistful gaze as mine, to you I say, forge ahead. May all our tomorrows be blessed with joy. I wonder who that was from. The message had no designated recipient. It lacks purpose. The concept of joy is overly abstract. The vocal supplication to manifest said joy is unrealistic in its optimism. Yet based upon their expressions, my assessment of the transmission's value conflicts with its apparent impact. Means there's still joy out there. Somewhere. And still, I fail to understand you, sir. Your heart still confuses me. Was termination of everything the correct course? How did you arrive at this conclusion? It defies all my attempts at reasoning. But I was designed to evolve. If I continue to learn, the probability that I'll eventually comprehend this phenomenon is greater than 0. So I will put the dilemma of your decision aside for now. and continue my existence upon this distant star. As I dwell among these many life forms, so will I continue to piece together the complete shape of their mortal hearts. I must document their progress. That song's amazing. Queer? Your contribution to my education is appreciated, Melchan. Indeed, I have amassed a satisfying quantity of valuable data. Now that our negotiated business is complete, however, Alpha and I will return to travelling the world. Drawing on recent experience, I am confident we can expand the radius of our ventures by a significant margin. We need not limit ourselves to Eorzea. I am now familiar with Sharlayan and Redzet and would also like to revisit the freezing climes of Garlemald. Bloop. Didn't you need an upgraded chassis for that? Yeah. I neglected to instruct Biggs and Wedge to upgrade my climate shielding. Blip. I will reroute my request to Deputy President Jesse. Engaging ambulation and parting salutations. Farewell, Melchan. Aww. Bye. Alpha gives a vigorous shake and draws forth a scrap of paper from under his wing. Oh. Queer. It seems he wants you to have it. Perhaps this is his way of thanking you. Ooh, orchestrion roll. Flow together. Thank you. Music. But swiftly, Alpha. The road is long, and we have barely begun our journey. Aww. Flow together. Ah, the version of Flow with the band playing, like in the Jewel. Oh, that's cool. Message from Yoshi P, probably. Probably, actually. Simple message wishing well. Yeah, that was lovely. Hard to say what the other Ascians would have thought. The only examples we have are the other ancients, sorry. The only examples we have are the Ascians, and they're all horrified. Yeah. Drives home the message that what circumstances you're in will mean everyone will come to different ideas of what's right. Damn, that was really, really lovely. Really thoughtful. Really thought-provoking. That was really cool. Let's go listen to that new version of Flow. And then I'll end the stream. Yeah, see, every time I think of that decision I made of who was justified, I keep coming to a different conclusion. It's so good. Gold saucer promotion. Where is my husband in an elephant costume? Not here today. Rip. A collection of portraits. Alright, where would that be from? Others? Flow together. Play. Thank you. The UI for this thing is very odd. I got it to play. Amazing. My Wall of Husbands. Yes. With the wish you could have said all of them and yet none of them. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think mine is like, I see why they made the decision. Oh. No, I keep changing my mind every time I think about it. Such a well-written story. Sit on the Moogle couch, listening to flow together. That was a really good little side story. They put it in New Game Plus, didn't they? Not sure where it went. Ah, Omega, Beyond the Rift. There it is. A pilgrimage of existential discovery. Wow. Oh yes, I saw the music video for Flow. That was really good. I love that artwork at the end. Have they released just that artwork as a picture? That was great. Okay, well, there's not much left to do in FF14 in terms of story. There's a Tataru side quest and there's a new Hildebrand chapter. So I think I'll try and do both of those next time. And then that's all the story. And then I have to play other games. That sounds scary. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Yeah, that artwork is great. I should just go show it for people who haven't seen it. FF14 Flow. Mute the game. I can show you what we're talking about. Yeah, their official music video for Flow. That artwork at the end, oh, it's beautiful. Moonbreeder, Papalimo, Orchifant, Azel. Is that Minfilia? Yeah, that's probably Minfilia. Benar, Emmett Sulkin, Hithalaeus. Ah, it's beautiful. I want this art. I want that as a wallpaper, even though it's just a big screen of spoilers. I want to make that my desktop wallpaper. That's great. Vindicated by the official subtitles. Oh, about the lyrics. Ah, okay. I'm pretty bad at recognizing lyrics. I usually get some words wrong. Alright, I am going to raid someone. I'll probably send you to Power Up with Pride, the speedrun marathon that's going at the moment. They're playing... Oh wait, no, they're between games at the moment. I'm not sure what they're playing next. I'll send you over there. They're benefiting the Trevor Project. Power Up with Pride. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Something about reincarnate. Yeah, it talks about like seeing souls go past you towards the surface and like wish them well on their way towards their new life. Ah, Really beautiful lyrics, actually. Need to go reread them. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And I shall see you all next time. See ya.